It's time for Colbert on Golf with Jim Colbert and Kevin Keatsman. Each week, we'll break down what's happening in the world of golf with insights and big-name interviews, plus tips from the winner of 28 tournaments on the PGA and Champions Tours, Jim Colbert. Colbert on Golf is built by Midland Exteriors, online at midlandexteriors.com. Midland Exteriors, we've thought of everything.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Colbert on Golf. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about everything going on in the world of golf with our favorite pro, Mr. Jim Colbert, who joins us weekly to talk about golf. Hi, Jim. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Kevin. Up here in Manhattan, we had a first tee program last night. And, kids from around the state, and I see them out playing some golf this morning. Mitch Holcomb was up here yesterday, gave a talk to the kids. It was good. Everything's good.
Man, that is it. The First Tee is just a great program, getting kids involved in golf that may not otherwise have the opportunity to, and it really has taken root, and I know that you were right there at the forefront of it when you built Colbert Hills.
We actually had the only PGA Tour First Tee 9 holes with the PGA Tour sign on it, and actually PGA Tour endorsed our whole golf course when we did it, so we're the only university PGA Tour course.
Talking with Jim Colbert at Colbert Hills. They had a big First Tee event this week, helping some kids out, getting them started in the game, and so much more than that. And we've talked about this, about the game of golf. You know, there's such an honor to the game, and you learn things about humility and sportsmanship and all those things. That's a big part of the First Tee, isn't it?
Well, it is. You know, golf is really the only really competitive sport that is a great example for the kids. I mean, for everybody, actually. I mean, you keep your own score. If your ball rolls, you tell somebody my ball rolls. I have to order a stroke. You call the rules on yourself. And every other sport, you live on the edge of, not breaking the rules, but kind of breaking the rules and seeing what you can get away with. And golf really does teach life's lessons of how you should live, act, and behave. And so it is a great medium to teach these kids. And the First Tee is basically an educational program, and we get an awful lot of these kids now going to school, going to college, getting scholarships. It's the best educational program through sports that I've seen anywhere, and I've seen a lot of them.
And we've talked before about, some of these scandals in other sports, whether it's, Deflategate or, pitchers spitting on a baseball through the years or putting Super Balls inside the bat, corking their bats, things like that. And all these other sports, we see these things happen. Golf is relatively free of that. This is a hard game to cheat. You can't cheat your lie. Everything's on TV at the highest level now. There's cameras everywhere, so there's no kicking your ball or fluffing your lie or anything like that. There's no cheating at the highest level, and you can't really doctor the equipment. Everybody's got pretty much the same stuff. It's pretty free of all that, isn't it?
It's real free, and like I say, I mean, even now, a couple of coaches were telling me last night, some of the kids that, they were in Salina a couple weeks ago, and one of the guys was going pretty good, and he was in the woods. And he came out, and he walked over to the other two kids he was playing with and says, I have to add a stroke. I missed it over there one time when I swung at it. Who does that?
Right.
In what sports? I mean, nobody in the world would know that other than the one that swung the club. Getting these kids at such an early age to do that, it's amazing. And the professionals, even at the highest level, because not everything's on television. If you're not going good or it's early in the week and you're off somewhere, they'll come out and say, I grounded my club in the hazard. I didn't know I was in the hazard. Stuff like that. It brings out the best in you when you do the right thing.
Yeah, well said. Well, we had an interesting moment at the Travelers this weekend. Bubba Watson wins. In doing so, Bubba moves up to number 3 in the world. Tiger Woods didn't play this week. He moved down to number 220 in the world. That's the lowest he's been since 1996 when he first turned pro and had not won yet, which is in the next week after being ranked number 221 in 96, he won a tournament and shot up the list. But it's really quite remarkable. We saw an interesting moment with Bubba. He wins in a playoff and played well, but in the final round, on the second hole, he was in the rough and was very near a tree, and the flag was between him. There was some room under the tree, and a guy in the gallery says, "Oh, looks like a low 4-iron." like you're going to run it up there under the tree. And Bubba kind of looks at him funny and whatever and makes a crack, and the gallery laughs. And I'm not sure what club he pulled out. It was pretty lofted. And he took it over this tree, which nobody standing there thought Bubba could do except maybe Bubba and his caddy, puts it about 8 feet from the hole, and turns around and looks for the guy that was telling him to hit this low 4-iron, and he couldn't find the guy, and he finds him. He goes, "Hey, pal, that's why I'm out here playing and you're out there." And I thought that was pretty good, and everybody laughed and had a good time with it. He wasn't being a jerk, but the point is, it's unbelievable how many shots these guys hit that regular golfers like me could stand there on the course and think, well, you can't get over that tree. You got to go under it. And yet these pros, I mean, you guys are absolutely amazing what you can do.
Bubba's in a select few. I couldn't hit that shot either. I couldn't get the force to get the height and get it to the green. But Bubba's angle of attack and the size he is and the strength and the clubhead speed, he can hit it. But not everybody on the circuit. Zach Johnson couldn't hit that shot. I mean, there's only a limited number of special players, but Bubba is one of them. I mean, the shot he hit at the Masters on the 10th hole, he hit the pitching wedge 50 yards. Very few guys could ever do that. The only one I could think of that moves the ball that much was Chichi. Chichi could really make that ball curve. But Bubba, with that strength and that height, he's kind of a league in his own. Years ago, I was at the Champions down in Houston, and Norman had the lead in the third round. It was the 14th hole. And I called. I had my cameraman with me, and I said, "We need a little time." So they came to us early, and I showed the ball, and there was a hole in some trees. It was just a hole. You couldn't go over them, under them. There was a hole in the trees going right at the pin, and he was sitting on just pine needles. And I had the cameraman shoot the ball, shoot the hole, and then down to the pin and over the lake. And I said, and Norman had a 2 or 3 shot lead in third round. And I said, he can chip out over here and then have a 100-yard little shot into the green, which is the safe play. But his 8-iron to go right through that hole up there, that's a perfect place for his 8-iron. And he can literally shoot it to green, but it's a high-risk shot. So we had it all set up. He comes down, he's looking around. I see him, oh, my goodness. He pulls out that 8-iron, he hit it right through there, hit it about 8 feet in the hole and birdied the hole. And, again, that was a special shot by a special guy. That 8-iron at that stage, for me, that would have been a little too high. Mine wouldn't have fit through there, plus I couldn't have got it to the green. But with Norman's game, I knew he'd see it, and he decided to do it. And that's just like Bubba doing it over that tree. And I think it's great when he turned to the crowd and tried to find that guy. I mean, it kind of makes him real. Hey, guys, look what I did.
Yes.
Yeah,
and you're in the entertainment business, and the fans ate it up. They loved it.
And even the guy that said 4-iron, I'm sure he was laughing too, I mean, he didn't insult him. He just, hey, there's a reason I'm on this side of the road. And he is. It is.
Indeed. Well, 51-year-old Jeff Maggart's having a special year on the Champions Tour at the Senior U.S. Open last week. Maggart wins his second major of the season. He won the Tradition a couple of weeks ago. So this one's at Del Paso Country Club in Sacramento, and he finishes strong in this event. Tom Watson from Kansas City with a great showing at age 65. Held the lead after the first round, was tied, and then won back entering the final round. And at the end, there were just too many guys went too low on Sunday, but Watson had a terrific event, and Maggart wins his second major of the year.
Yeah, I watched a lot of it, Kevin. I was going back and forth between that and Hartford. Maggart, I mean, he really did play solid, man. Even, coming in on 17, that's a 3-iron shot, 208 yards or something over water. And, by then he just had a 2-shot lead after he had made a bogey, I think, on 15. But he was swinging so good when he hit that shot, because that was the only time that I thought he could get in trouble. If he pulls it or hits it heavy or puts it in the water, he can lose the tournament right there. And he hit a really, really good shot right in the middle of the green. It trickled into the back fringe. But he really, really played with a lot of confidence. And then Bubba, that's his second win up there in Hartford. His first win on the circuit was on that golf course. And he's gone back every year. He supported them, I'm sure, from the reason he won the first time he won on the PGA Tour. And, I mean, I saw the numbers. I mean, what he made like 90% of the putts from 8 feet in or something, 92% or something. I mean, it was because his shortfall is his putting when he's a little off. And he certainly made a lot of putts this week.
Yeah, when Bubba's putting, you can't beat the guy, and I know that much is true. And going back real quickly to finish this segment up, Jim, Tom Watson, age 65. Now, you've played competitively, well into age 70, and I know that it just gets tougher as you get older. How good is that he's playing like that in a major at age 65?
I can't even put words on it, Kevin. I really, really can't. The one guy that I thought would win in his early, mid, or even late 60s was Hale Irwin, but he can't get there. And when Watson plays, he's there every week. I mean, it's just amazing. I watch his swing. I've known him since he was 8 years old. I used to caddy for his dad at Kansas City Country Club. And Tommy used to come out and play with the high school kids when he was 9, 10 years old. We thought we were sneaking on over at Kansas City Country Club. And his swing has just gotten better and better, and he's as fluid now. He's got that really good look, confident look about himself. He's like everybody else. You go through some streaky putting times. But in the last couple of years, I mean, he's just solid as a rock. I'm just amazed.
He'll be playing in his final Open Championship coming up in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that a little bit later in July here on Colbert on Golf. We'll take a break. We come back, we'll talk about Phil Mickelson, maybe the most popular golfer in America now. As Outside the Lines and ESPN reported earlier this week, Phil has been attached to a gambling ring. He's not in any real trouble, but we'll talk about what this all means and maybe talk a little bit about how prolific the gamblers are on the PGA Tour with Jim Colbert here on Colbert on Golf when we continue right after these messages.
Midland Exteriors is proud to be a presenting sponsor of Colbert on Golf. Just as Jim Colbert pursued excellence on the course, Midland Exteriors is committed to excellent products for your home and exceptional customer service for you. Midland Exteriors knows Kansas weather can be tough on your home, so we offer only fiberglass windows and seamless steel or fiber cement siding. It's the good stuff, and so is our service. Online at MidlandExteriors.com. Midland Exteriors, we've thought of everything.
Colbert Hills is one of the most unique golf experiences in the entire Midwest, and the hills are calling your name. At Colbert Hills, you're going to experience huge elevation changes, tour-quality greens, and an award-winning design by Jim Colbert. Tee times, specials, and stay-and-play packages are available online at ColbertHills.com. Book a foursome or bring a huge group, and the staff at Colbert Hills will roll out its legendary hospitality. Who knows? You might even run into Jim at the tee box or after your round at Colbert's, which is so much more than just the 19th hole. Visit ColbertHills.com today.